Now the exams will end soon and students are already excited for their long vacation, but they are confused for their futures.
It's like a T20 match.
Right.
You know?
Parents are like, you do this, relatives give their own suggestions, and students have to do their own.
Now, every ball will count, every second
Right.
will count, every decision that you take in this phase will count. I want the students to understand the importance of this phase in their life.
So 10th exam have already started and students are already excited for their long vacation. But somewhere students and parents both are confused for their future and they need some guidance according to their career. So here we are with the new video named as Margadarshan. So today with us we have Professor Prakash Jakadar sir. Hello sir.
Hello.
He has 40 years of experience in teaching mathematics and he also owns his own foundation named as Spurti Foundation. So sir, my first question is that now the exams will end soon and students are already excited for their long vacation, but they are confused for their future. So what ideas will you give to them?
It's like a T20 match.
Right.
It's a
Yes.
T20 match and already 19 overs are gone. Okay. That means from first standard to 10th standard, you
Yes.
already passed that time,
Yes.
right? Whatever you have done is over and
Right.
that they're done with, okay?
Mhm.
And now you are entering the 20th over.
Okay.
Now, every ball will count, every second will
Right.
count, every decision that you take in this phase will count because ultimately you will be successful entrepreneur, successful professor, successful whatever profession you are going to join, that will be decided in this last over. So I want the students to understand the importance of this phase in their life.
Right.
Because this is a +2 stage and +2 stage at the end of which he will have his own identity.
Right.
Now people ask him, he is a son of an engineer, he is a son of so-and-so, he is a daughter of so-and-so
Yes.
and all that. Now that conversation will transfer to he is an engineer,
Right.
he is a doctor, he is something. In other words, in these 2 years, not only you're going to succeed, but you're going to get a complete identity of your own. And you are in search of an identity and that identity will be obtained in these 2 years. So that underlines the importance of these 2 years.
Right, sir.
Okay.
But it happens like many times as soon as the 10th exam ends, parents are like, you do this, relatives give their own suggestions and students have to do their own. So what advice will you give? What should they choose?
Very, very important and very, very relevant question.
Right.
Because once the student is in standard 10, everybody, his parents, his friends, his advisors, everybody becomes an advisor.
Right.
And everybody starts telling him
Giving their
the
advice,
importance of
yes.
10th standard. And most of them look at their career, I mean the student's career from the lenses of their own career. Right? And they are passing on information and giving you many kinds of,
Giving their own ideas,
and all that. One thing I want all the students to understand, not only a student, but any individual, do not allow anyone else to take decisions about you and your life and your career to anyone else.
Right.
But not even your parents, not even your exam scores,
right.
Not even aptitude tests. No, I will not allow to decide someone else like some other factor to decide who am I, right? I will decide what I want to become.
Yes.
Now, once I know this is what I want to become, what I would like to become, then I'll find out a method and pathways of finding and reaching that particular point. I may find that I do not have the proper attitude towards that particular course. So I'll imbibe them. I'll cultivate them, right? So it is very, very important to decide your lifetime goal once and for all. And with respect to that lifetime goal, exactly what you need to do in this +2 stage, right? Suppose you want to become an entrepreneur, right? So you want to be good at finance, right? So you will join a commerce, right? And then you will join MBA course, right? So that depends on what kind of ambition you have. You want to start a computer industry. Suppose you want to become another Narayan Murthy. Who knows, right? In that case, your entire career course is already charted, right? Because you will start with what? A science, obviously.
Yes.
You'll become a computer engineer. Then you'll go abroad, learn about AI, whatever the current field at that time it will be, right? And then you'll start off thinking of, you'll work somewhere, and then you will get your own industries and all that. That can. So whenever your long-term goal is set, then with respect to that, you can come backwards and come to the +2 stage and find out, Arey, this is what I need to do.
Right. So, sir, you just said that marks doesn't decide our future. Is it really true?
Yeah. I mean, today's parenting and today's environment is rotten, I'm telling you.
Right.
We have given more than life larger than life importance to exams. Now, examination scores are given. In fact, nowadays, if the student also believes that whether if I ask you, are you intelligent? So you'll, at the back of your mind, you will have a list of all the mark lists that you have scored, right? If the mark list says that you have scored more than 90% marks, you will say, I am intelligent, So in other words, you are allowing the marks in the examination to tell you whether you are good or not. So you are looking at it as a mirror, right? So let me tell you one thing. Examination means what? Yeah, there is just a series of questions,
papers,
right? And there is a certain time limit within which you have to answer, right? Either you know these answers or you do not know the answers. Okay, anything will happen. And whatever marks you get, it only tells you that at that particular point of time, out of so many questions, these many questions I could answer and these many questions I could not answer. But your conclusions are more than the event itself. What is the conclusion? If you get 30 marks out of 100, you take a decision that I am not good at mathematics. I am not good at mathematics is a present continuous tense. That means you were not good, you are not good, and you will not be good. The conclusion is enormous. It will have an enormous hold on your life, right? And one single event will impact your life.
Right.
So I want the impact of that particular event to reduce, nothing doing. In one examination, if I did not know the answer, what does that mean? Does that mean in the whole of my life, I will not get the answers? No.
Yes.
People have failed in 10th standard and become, toppers in JEE,
Yes.
So there are examples. So one examination, do not allow yourself to decide your future on the basis of certain examination marks, including your 10th standard examination marks.
Right.
You pursue your dreams according to your, instincts,
choices,
your likings,
Yes, sir. So, like many times these things happen, like I have taken commerce, but later I understand that I was interested in science field.
Yeah.
So, like, are there any options like we can choose another field?
Yeah, I mean, here, of course, there is a role of teachers as well as parents.
Right.
Because the students of 10th standard, they are hardly aware of any kind of field.
They are
not gone.
confused at
They are
that
just
age.
young. They have not experienced anything. So, if at all I am their parent, what I will do is, I will explain each field,
Right.
For example, if you want to join science, what is expected from you, and then if you want to join commerce, what is expected, arts, what is expected from you, and what kind of training you will receive. And I'll give him some practical, demonstrations to find out what science is all about, what physics is all about, what chemistry is all about, and what biology is all about, or what economics is all about. And once he gets a taste of all those things, he will be in a position to decide, अरे ये मेरे बस की बात नहीं है,
Right.
ये मेरे को अच्छा नहीं लगता, ये अच्छा लगता है, like that. Otherwise, 10th standard students have some very lofty ideals about their future. Whenever I take a lot of seminars. Even the daily newspaper Sakar has organized many of my seminars. And during those seminars, I ask the students, what do you want to become? Most of the students give me a very funny answer. I want to become what? I want to become an aeronautical engineer.
Okay.
That's very funny. Aeronautical engineer the word sounds very
difficult and
lofty and very, So I asked them, why do you want to become an aeronautical engineer? I like flying. I said, nonsense. Who told you that aeronautical engineers fly? No, they allow others to fly.
Right.
They train others to
Yes.
fly. You know, so there are misconceptions, right?
Mhm.
There are misconceptions, and those misconceptions must be removed if he wants to take the decision about his future. Now, in order to remove those illusions, he has to keep on continuously ask questions to
Okay.
those people who are already in that field.
Mhm.
Yeah. So interact with them, interact
Right.
with your parents, interact with those
Interacting
people.
is the best.
Yeah,
way, right,
interacting
sir?
is the best. So people, they will give you first-hand information. "अरे, यहाँ पे ये होता है."
Yes.
Yeah. For example, when I was young, my maternal uncle was a doctor.
Mhm.
He asked me, "Why don't you want to become a doctor?" He was very angry with me. I said, "I don't want to cut the parts of the people's bodies and all that. I hate that.
Yes.
I don't want. I don't want 24 hours emergency." Right. So I was very clear. So I knew, in order to become a doctor, what needs to be done.
Yes.
But I'm interested in, making things creative. So engineering will be the best alternative. Although, of course, I did not become an engineer. I became a mathematics postgraduate because likes and dislikes keep changing. When you start studying, then you come to know, "अरे ये मेरे को अच्छा नहीं लगता है,
Yes.
मेरे को ये अच्छा लगता है." Right? So it is not a final decision. And one more. If you take a wrong decision, let the 2 years go to waste, but take a right decision, come back again.
Yes.
I had a friend who was very brilliant in his career. I mean, in his 11th standard, he got fantastic marks. And those times, instrumentation engineering was the topmost branch.
Okay.
Now, chemical engineering, right?
Chemical engineering.
So he had joined UDCT, one of the topmost institution in India, for teaching chemistry, chemical engineering. He was there. He was in the 3rd year of chemical engineering and about to pass the examination. He decided he doesn't like chemical engineering. And what he did, he joined 2nd year BSc mathematics.
Okay.
Of course.
He was confused.
He was confused,
Yes.
but he dared to change. And now, when he retired, he was the head of the Department of Computer Science, Bombay University. Can you imagine that? But that kind of confidence one should have, right?
Yes, sir. As I told them in our introduction, Harry, you have your own foundation,
Yeah.
Spurti Foundation. So, what actually your Spurti Foundation do?
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. I was teaching these IIT entrance aspirants.
Okay.
And we started a 2-year course. What happened is the student used to enter with a lot of enthusiasm, right? So in the first, we got enrollments of around, say, 200 students, right?
Right.
But by the end of the year, 100 students will drop out. I mean, they found that climb very steep, because naturally, because it's a difficult course. The complexity level is, of course, keeps on increasing. And student thought that they cannot cope with it and they used to drop out. Nothing wrong in that. But as a teacher, I found out that whenever you go inside a classroom for, say, few times, say, suppose you give, say, 5-6 lectures, you have 67 lectures. Out of all the students, as a teacher, I get a feeling, "अरे ये boy bright है, इसको chances है जाने का, right? ये भी अच्छा है. So in our mind, there is a calculation. This guy is good, this guy is good, this guy is good. Now, whenever I used to see the dropout list, I was surprised that some of them, the dropped ones, were those whom I had given a chance.
Okay.
In my mind, they were. In other words, they did not know their own potential.
Right.
Whereas I could find out. Okay. So now, and natural, because they do not know. They have not faced that examination, right? And they are afraid. And every time they look at it, but when teacher looks at it, he appreciates the way he thinks.
Okay.
The way he analyzes.
Way he does
things. So he has got a more penetrating insight in his abilities rather than me. So I decided that I will start a program in which the students will be brought very close to their own potential. So they should realize their own potential. They should find out who they are.
Right.
And for that, what are the obstacles? Why they don't? And why some of them do, I analyzed along with my psychiatrist relative. He is a doctorate in psychiatry. Then we both of us sat together and we created a small 1-day program, right? And this 1-day program, we were dealing with the psychological, because I believed that the students are not good or bad at the potential level. They are good or bad at psychological level. So problems are psychological. And all we are teaching them is physics, chemistry, mathematics. And that is not going to solve the problem. So I have another media where I should give them this teaching, right? I called it comprehensive coaching program.
Okay.
Not only teach them mathematics, physics and chemistry, but also give them the mental support,
Okay.
the psychological support, which is highly lacking in today's educational system itself, right? So that is how I started this program. And it was very successful, let me tell you. The students used to cry in my in my programs, and they used to come out with their feelings. They used to get out. Some students at the end of the program, I said, "Sir, it feels like today is my birthday, a new day for me, a new life for me." Right? So basically, the idea was to give them threefold. IIT, I used to call it. I means what? Inform them.
Okay.
Give them some information which they have never heard before. Number one. Number two, I stands for inspiration. Let them realize that they can do 1,000 times better than what they think they are capable of.
Yes.
Right? And third is T. T stands for transformation. Transformation means if in a particular situation they are reacting in a particular way, that method of reaction should change. That is called transformation. With these three motives, we started that organization and we brought about changes in the lives of students. And now that I have done so many, so I have reduced those activities because of my other activities took over. So I want through these kind of platforms, I should always tell my thoughts my thoughts should reach the larger section of students and parents as well.
So, sir, 10th exams will over soon. So, should they take any guidance or support?
Yeah, number one, there is a question mark here. If I want to write an algorithm, the first question that I'll ask is, do I know what I want to become? If yes, go, follow it. Am I in doubt whether to join science, commerce or any other alternative? If you are in doubt, then go. Today is the age of information. Yes. Google hai, right? Internet hai, right? Find out everything about every branch of mathematics, physics, chemistry and all that, or commerce, economics, politics, psychology, pharmacy. Several branches of studies are available and you should find out what exactly they deal with, right? And while undergoing that kind of program, what kind of skills are required from me? And do I have them, or will I enjoy it? That's a question. So as much information you can get from the internet, from your relatives, from the people who are actually practicing in that particular area, you interact with them. Don't spend your time only in the vacation. It's okay.
Yes.
For 15 days you go on a vacation, study time is over and all that, and you want to relieve. Nothing wrong in that. But go for a vacation for 15-20 days, because there are 2 months almost available. But remaining days should be invested in finding out, what is the correct alternative as far as I am concerned, right? You take help of your parents, you ask them, but you don't accept them. You ask. तुम हजारों लोगों को पूछो ना क्या करना है, लेकिन ऐसा ही करो। हाँ, जो तुम like I was listening to one interview of C. Ramchandran. C. Ramchandran was a music director in olden times. You may not be knowing, but he was very famous. So he used to always compose some 5-6 tunes for one particular song, and he'll ask everybody, "Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think?" He used to tell us that I used to ask everybody. But ultimately, I used to choose only my own. I was doing my own.
Yes. So, sir, it motivated me also.
Yeah.
So, it was really great meet. Yes. So, sir, we really had a great conversation today. And I hope Zakatdar sir's words will really motivate you. And if it was helpful to you, do watch our other Margadarshan videos. And if you like this video, you can recommend this video to your friends and family too. Thank you.